I started working with Chuck in 1988, believe it or not. We obsess about the grayscales. Some of the earliest paper pieces, he had 24 shades of gray. Even though this is a straight paper making process, I don't think I would have been able to come to it without the printmaking part of it. A process where you're working reductively and printing the lightest colors first and then to the dark. It's interesting doing that because you learn a lot about Chuck's mark making. These marks were actually made from a lino cut that he did before he was paralyzed. So the marks are mark of a handheld tool, which is what you're seeing in the Lucas print. Chuck's eye is the best. He is very, very, very clear about seeing things. It's fascinating to see how much time he will put into looking. He has honed his eye so well that he really figures out how to make the changes that give it that extra little thing. It can be a very long process. I spent one summer doing tests, the second summer doing proofs, and the third summer making the edition, and that was actually in 3 or 4 month blocks of time. We did edition of 50, plus artist proofs, plus to get to that point, we made 13 different proofs before Chuck okayed the 13th. He's always moving forward, and his eye is getting just better and better and better. Yeah. What we are doing is taking what we learned in the last project and building on it into a new technique. So no matter how similar, let's say, a small cell portrait reduction looks, and then the Roy that comes after it, I guarantee you there have been major jumps in how we're doing it and how we're trying to refine it. Chuck is always up for the challenge of refining things. We're compatible in that way because I'm always willing to try to go that extra distance with him and take it to the next level. We're blowing this thing up from the original that he made, which is only 9 by 12 inches. So every mark gets really big and sort of exaggerated as you blow it up. And the way we're applying the pulp too, you apply it with a nozzle, so it is like painting. Obviously, when we're editioning the piece, we're trying to keep it as consistent as we can once he's signed off on it. The reason why I like working on the paper with him is the fiber itself, unlike oil-based printing ink, is really luminous. So you can get this sort of beautiful, sparkly quality to the pieces. This technique we're doing now, we feel that we've gone as far as we can with it. It's not a trial and error thing with him. Usually it's him knowing what he wants to see and telling you that, and then we make one. It's really easy to go back and see the flaws in something, but when you put yourself back in that time period of this was done like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you just didn't have the kind of skills that you do now, so you can't go back and constantly rewrite history. It'll be a whole different piece when you see it dry.